Hello, this is Shambhavi. Welcome to Satsang. Satsang is an ancient spiritual practice from India. It means being in reality together. I give Satsang live every Wednesday and Sunday night in Portland, Maine. This Dharma talk was recorded during one of our Wednesday night gatherings. Please visit jayakula.org to learn more about the teachings. You can find video satsangs on Jaya Kula's YouTube channel, and my books are all available on Amazon.com. Much love to you, wherever and however you are. Somebody I've known for a long time said to me yesterday that she thought I was a whole universe and I didn't even know it. It's kind of embarrassing to have someone say you're a universe. But the fact is actually that I do know it. I've known it since I was a little kid, that the goodness that I felt, that sort of just feeling of the essential goodness of everything and its creativity and its intelligence was the universe. I mean, I had that feeling of vastness that came out of my experience of being essentially good and sweet and wholesome and generous and intelligent and creative. You know, at that time, I thought it was something contained in me. Now I realize that's not the case. It really isn't anything about me individually. Now I realize that everybody has that universe that could be the universe you're living in every day. When I was little and I experienced this, inner vastness, I thought of it as, but it was really this just incredible creative impulse and feeling of largesse. You know what that word means. The only thing I wanted to be able to do was give it away. I wanted to share it with other people. And that just drove me through my whole life up until I found this tradition and realized that there might be a way I could share it with everybody if I became open enough and open-hearted enough. If I cleared out the obscurations in my own personality enough to let this, whatever universe I experienced, be available to other people, not just something I was painfully feeling was myself and feeling lonely because of it. Now I have a way to share it. But of course, not everybody wants to be shared with, or not equally. Everybody has obscurations. I have fewer obscurations than I had before, but I still have them. And then other people have their own obscurations. Fear, pride, all kinds of things that obscure what is your universe of those wisdoms and virtues. There is nothing more important to me than sharing this with you. And as many of you know, the lineage that I was initiated into, where I got the Saraswati name, has imploded in a horrible child abuse scandal. And many, many lineages have imploded. Many, many spiritual teachers have been found to be wanting. Many spiritual communities have found to be wanting. And there's sort of a general feeling roundabout that there's something wrong with spirituality, or something wrong with spiritual communities, or something wrong with spiritual teachings, or even something wrong with devotion, which is the absolute fundament of the creation. Last night at home, we watched this movie called Holy Hell, a documentary that this wonderful person made. He was in a spiritual community for 22 years with this crazy guy as his teacher. But he was a filmmaker from when he was a child, so he became the documentarian of this community for 22 years. So he had all this footage, and he showed from the very beginning all of these really sincere and devotional and intelligent, creative, multifaceted people got involved with this wackadoodle teacher who ran around in a Speedo most of the time. But, he seemed rather innocuous at first, although one couldn't really imagine why anyone would follow him. But anyway, he didn't seem dangerous at first. And over the course of this 22 years, these people were slowly sucked, into this deeper and deeper reality distortion field. And this guy got sicker and sicker and more controlling and more controlling. It's a beautiful movie. I really recommend everybody watch it because it shows you exactly, this is a mechanism that happened in the lineage that I was involved in too, where it seemed great at first, maybe there were some little danger signs, but, over time it got crazier and crazier. One of the things that it reminded me of is how important my integrity is to me. And I've always felt this way. Figured as long as I was honest and kept my word, that it didn't really matter what anybody said about me, right? Because I really couldn't do any better than that. Integrity also means integrity of open-heartedness, like doing your best to really share your value, your virtue. To me, that's the ultimate integrity, that you don't hide your devotion, that you don't hide your love, that you don't hide your generosity, that you don't skimp people on honesty, right? That you actually care about what happens to other people, and so you want to share your virtue with them in order to be of benefit, real benefit. You're not holding back anything. You're not belittling other people when they show devotion or because it makes you anxious in some way. You're really doing your best to go in there and open your heart. That's the ultimate integrity. And supporting other people to do that also. I think that we really have something, or the start of something, in a relative sense, which is a spiritual community that has some basic integrity. It's important to support our practice to have that. And it's important so that people can show their devotion, so that people can discover that, so that people can discover and wake up and not feel afraid of being duped or ripped off or abused or lied to or treated badly or disparaged in any way. Last week, I wrote a proposal to our board of directors. Jaya is a nonprofit church in the eyes of the IRS. That's how they see us. And I wrote a proposal to the board of directors for a code of conduct for the board of directors, because I feel like our board members should be exemplars of the integrity and vision and purpose of Jaya Kula. If a board member is less than open-hearted, if a board member is disparaging, if a board member lies, if a board member is financially dubious, that is much more serious to me, because the board members are kind of the people that help to announce the culture of Jaya Kula just by being who they are, right? And I've never really said this to the board before. It's never really been explicit, although I try not to choose board members I think are going to cheat people. But here is what I wrote to the board, and I wanted to read it to everybody because I think that now I want everyone to try to do this, okay? And I'm going to actually write it up. The board's going to discuss it at our meeting on Monday. We haven't even discussed this yet, so I'm sharing private board business with you. The first virtue that the board members are going to be asked to embody is integrity of purpose. Everything is sadhana. Everything is spiritual practice and an opportunity to wake up. That's integrity of purpose. We have that attitude. Board members are willing to take opportunities to integrate and practice unbroken sadhana in every aspect of their lives, not just in circumstances related to Jaya Kula. The second value I want board members to embody is self-responsibility. I want board members to exemplify this, and it would be great if we could all exemplify this. So board members are willing to accept reflection and courageously take responsibility for how they are showing up. It takes courage to be self-responsible for how you're showing up and not just blame or deflect or hide. Yeah, it takes courage. It takes courage to show your devotion. It takes courage to show your love. It takes courage to be open-hearted, and it takes courage to be responsible. We have to get our courage on. It takes a lot of courage, actually. It takes persistence. It takes clarity of purpose. When you have an impulse to close down, it takes clarity of purpose to remind yourself not to do that. 3, financial integrity and transparency. Board members will practice financial integrity and transparency in every aspect of their lives, not just in matters related to Jaya Kula. That's a tall order. Modesty. Board members are willing to go step by step along with others, to be one of the crowd, or to operate behind the scenes without recognition. Board members practice invisibility, no bragging, ostentation, praise-seeking, or admiration-sucking. For some of you who are on Facebook a lot, that's a tall order. Equality. Board agents are willing to treat everyone with total equality, never denigrating, disparaging, or competing with others for supremacy. Hosting. Board agents are the first in line to offer seva to the mandala and step up when there are unfilled seva needs. I want to see board members stepping up and doing that. Board members should be at the bottom and the top of the line. Tenderness. Board agents continually remember to open their hearts and be tender and loving toward all. So I want Jaya Kula, if nothing else, if we slog along, only realizing a little bit, if nothing else, I want us to be that place where we know that if someone wants to realize, they can come and safely do it with us. I want us to be that place. So I think that we already have a good foundation here, and I think we can make a better one. And we understand what context we're in. We're in a context where almost everyone is feeling something like nervous about being on a spiritual path with teachers and communities. There's just so much that has happened. And this is a tantric tradition. It's rough and tumble, right? It's not a nicey-poo tradition where everyone gets petted and safely led along in tiny little eensy-weensy baby steps, being asked if they're comfortable every step of the way. You know, this is a tradition. This is a tradition where you do get pushed and prodded and poked sometimes. So if we are like that as a community, then we can continue and be helpful and provide shelter for people who want to realize, no matter what anybody says, because we'll know that we're being in our own integrity. What a wonderful thing to be in a position to really offer people those virtues, you know, that wholesomeness, right? I want us to be wholesome through and through. At the same time as we're snarky, let's not give that up. But there's a wholesomeness about God, right? It's got nothing to do with being goody two-shoes. There's just this, as what Trungpa called, basic goodness. I felt this since I was born. And every one of you has access to that. And this is where we should be operating from. If you can't feel it, or you're suspicious of it, or you're skeptical of it, or you want to criticize it or denigrate it, this is because you are feeling such longing for it and you don't know how to establish yourself in it. And every person here wants to help you to establish yourself in it. And that is my sole purpose for doing this, is to help you to establish yourself firmly in these wisdom virtues that are your own nature, so that you can be understanding that you're a whole universe too. Jaya Kula is a nonprofit community offering opportunities to learn and practice in the direct realization traditions of Trika Shaivism and Dzogchen. We are based in Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon. Visit jayakula.org to explore more of our offerings.